Hello everybody. Functional grammar is all about language use, and our topic today is transformation of sentences. It is one of the most important topics for high school students and especially for the students appearing for the board exams. Short, effective and accurate. These short rules are tried and tested, practical tricks for students to understand in a crystal clear manner with no trace of doubts. A feeling can be expressed in a number of ways. These number of ways may include the usage of different words of similar meanings, or using the words figuratively, or using different syntaxes of sentences. Transformation means changing or converting the words or form of a sentence without changing its meaning or sense. Different styles of sentences would help you to develop good writing skills. There are different ways of transforming a sentence form into another. So as you can see here, it is a process by which we can change a sentence from one grammatical form to another without changing or altering its meaning. The sentence changes, but the sense remains unchanged. Now, there are various methods of transforming a sentence. So, some of the methods are given here. The first one is changing of words. The first method by which we can transform a sentence is by changing of words. And in changing of words, we have 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 ways. The first one is changing patterns. And in changing patterns, we have to plus adjective which changes or which can be changed into so that form, or so plus adjective plus that pattern. And then the next one is no sooner than into as soon as pattern, or vice versa, as soon as pattern to no sooner than pattern. Then the next one is interchanging degrees of comparison. Then interchanging one part of speech for another. Then the fourth one is using antonyms. Then we also have another way of changing or transforming of sentences, that is changing of forms. And in changing of forms, we have these 5 methods. So what are they? Interchanging active and passive voice, interchanging exclamatory and assertive sentences, interchanging interrogative and assertive sentences, interchanging affirmative and negative sentences, interchanging of direct and indirect speech. Then we have the third one, expressing condition, concession or contrast in different ways. And the fourth one, interchanging one kind of sentence into another kind. Now, as you can see, we just will have a recap of what we learned. Transformation of sentences means changing the words or form of a sentence without changing its meaning. That's simple. We have learnt it. And the methods are, there are 4 main methods. Changing of words, changing of forms by expressing condition, concession or contrast in different ways, and by interchanging one kind of sentence into another. So these are the 4 major methods of transforming of sentences. We are going to learn the first one. And in the first one, we have the first usage here, use of no sooner than pattern. So these are set patterns. Let's see what they mean. This kind of patterns are sentence connectors and are called correlative conjunctions. So they join the same type of parts of speech by coming in pairs. So as soon as, no sooner than, etc. These are the examples. Now, than is used as we use the comparative form of soon, that is sooner. So, soon becomes sooner, the ER word. Therefore, the use of than is an integral part of such sentences and should not be left out. If we leave it out, even if we have made the sentence correct and we leave off than, then there would be no marks given. So let's see what it actually means. No sooner than is more formal, that is literary. In spoken English, we may more often use soon after instead of no sooner than. When no sooner than is used at the beginning of the sentences, then the auxiliary verb goes before the subject. So no sooner always introduces the event that occurred first. There would always be two events or two actions. And in the two action, the first no sooner always would introduce the first action. That we must remember. So you can also use the phrase after the subject plus auxiliary. So even though we have the pattern no sooner, had, no sooner did, but you can use in another way also, which is grammatically very much correct. For instance, I had no sooner closed my eyes than I fell asleep. I did no sooner close my eyes than I fell asleep. But while writing, we use the pattern with the auxiliary verb before the subject. So let's see how it comes out. No sooner than pattern. No sooner than is used in a sentence which shows two actions which immediately follow one another. For example, as soon as the sun rose, they left for the journey. How many actions? Two actions. What is the first action? The sun rose. What is the second action? They left. They left for the journey. So these are the two actions, and the first one is introduced by as soon as. So let's see how we can transform. The transform sentence pattern for this sentence would be as follows. No sooner did the sun rise. Look at the transformation. No sooner did the sun rise. So here we have rose and here we have rise. So what is the transformation? The meaning is same, but it has transformed. It has changed the form into rise. Why? Because with did, V1 comes. That is verb 1 or the base form of the verb. That is simple present tense. Rise. And than, which we cannot leave. It's an integral part of the sentence. Than they left for the journey. So once again, let's read. No sooner did the sun rise than they left for the journey. No sooner. So what's the pattern? No sooner plus auxiliary verb plus subject plus main verb plus than plus the rest of the sentence. Now this structure looks a bit complicated. So let's see an easier way, a quick trick. To simplify things, here's a small trick to remember the formula for life. There are 3 ways to change a sentence structure beginning with as soon as to no sooner than. No sooner did plus V1. Easy to remember. So what is V1? Base form of the verb or present tense. Simple present tense. Then no sooner had plus V3. That is past participle. So V3 is the past participle form of the verb. And these are the 2 rules that we need to follow. So with did, we will have V1. With had, we will have V3. This we need to memorize. So this will be used for where we have the auxiliary is not present. So we have these. And if there is already an auxiliary present in the sentence, we use the same auxiliary. And we do not use did or had there. Now let's see here. What does it further mean? If an auxiliary is not present in the sentence, So when an auxiliary is not present in the sentence, how would we change? We need to use do or does for the present tense and did or had for the past tense forms. So let's see. As soon as she comes home, she starts cleaning. As soon as she comes home, she starts cleaning. No sooner does she come home, so comes become come. Why? Because we have used does here. No sooner does she come home than she starts cleaning. No sooner does she come home than she starts cleaning. Next, as soon as the bell rings, so present tense here, the children rush into the classrooms. No sooner does the bell ring than the children rush into the classrooms. No sooner does the bell ring than the children rush into the classrooms. I hope you have understood this part. And let's move on to the did one. So auxiliary did. I came first and the train arrived right after me. No sooner did I arrive at the station than the train came. No sooner did I arrive at the station than the train came. Next, I took a dose of the medicine. Soon I started feeling better. No sooner did I take a dose of the medicine than I started feeling better. So, took became take here. Then, we heard the noise. We rushed to the spot immediately. No sooner did we hear, so heard became hear, the noise, than we rushed to the spot. No sooner did we hear the noise than we rushed to the spot. As soon as I closed my eyes, I fell asleep. No sooner did I close my eyes than I fell asleep. So let's see more examples with had this time plus V3. That is the past participle form. Had plus V3 is the formula. So let's see. As soon as the chief guest arrived, so it's already in the past tense, the band started playing. No sooner had the chief guest arrived, so arrived, than the band started playing. No sooner had the chief guest arrived than the band started playing. The driver saw the signal. He applied the brake at once. No sooner had the driver seen the signal than he applied the brake. Third, as soon as he saw me, he fled. No sooner had he seen me. Saw became seen. See, saw, seen. So, no sooner had he seen me than he fled. Then, the fourth one. As soon as the sun rose, they left for the journey. No sooner had the sun risen than they left for the journey. Now, no sooner than with an auxiliary. We have seen all the ones without auxiliary. Now, we are going to see with the ones with auxiliaries. So, as soon as they had eaten, you can see here we already have an auxiliary there. So, we are going to use this same auxiliary. We are not going to leave it. So, they went out for a stroll. No sooner had they eaten than they went out for a stroll. The meaning doesn't change, but the sentence form changes. Next, when he was presented with a trophy, he started crying. Was presented. Was is the auxiliary. No sooner was he presented. So we don't have did and had here or does here. We just have the same auxiliary that is being used in the sentence. As soon as or whatever the sentence is given. So no sooner was he presented with a trophy than he started crying. Third one. After we were frisked for guns or tranquilizer darts, we were led into the Sanjay Gandhi Zoo and Botanical Garden. So, no sooner were we frisked for guns or tranquilizer darts than we were led into the Sanjay Gandhi Zoo and Botanical Garden. So I hope you understand the meaning of frisked means looked up or checked for guns or tranquilizer darts. I hope you understand that. Then we were led into the Sanjay. So after being frisked, we were led into the Botanical Garden or the zoo. Now we come to the end of this part and we have learnt quite a bit of no sooner than pattern, and I hope this short, effective and accurate short rules which were tried and tested are practical tricks for students to understand in a crystal clear manner. So there should be no trace of doubt, and I hope that you children have learnt it well, and this will help you to write correct language structures without any error. All the best to you, children. So, with love, this is Mary George. Thank you for watching.